Well, Peter, that about brings us to the end of our show. But we always look ahead, of course, what is coming next. I believe there's a big showdown between Pravin Gordhan and Siyabonga Gama tomorrow.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, they have tried to suspend him. They put him on notice that he needs to, provide reasons why he shouldn't be suspended. This week it'll play out one way or the other. Legally, I hear that the people who are being suspended feel they're on strong ground and they might challenge it in court. They might try to interdict these suspensions. Pravin Gordhan had just better have his, he'd better have better lawyers than they do, basically, behind him and better advice. I don't know whether we haven't discussed, Karima, the fact that Bain has fallen. I don't know whether anybody at this stage of the weekend really cares. But another big consultancy, Bain, has its CEO or the local partner has resigned, and they're going to pay back the state 464 million rand.
I think it's a very important development, Peter, because if we look at the companies, the international multinationals that in fact aided and abetted state capture, we can talk about Bain, we can talk about McKinsey, we can talk about KPMG, we can talk about SAP, and of course all of them have tried to suggest that it's a few rotten apples. But I mean, it's Trevor Manuel who made the point to me, saying that capitalism as a system is irrational. And because of that, you have a design fault in some of these companies where they're supposed to audit your books, but they also supposed to look at your risk and bring down costs. And if you have them in the same company, you basically have conflicting imperatives knocking up against each other, which means you need human intervention, you need rules.
Well, you also need rules, and you just need decent people, Bain is not an auditor, it's a consulting company. It's done a lot of business with the South African government for a long time. SAA in and out, SAA in and out again.
It also met President Zuma a long time before Tom Moyane actually became SARS commissioner.
This is a disgraceful story. And what I hope that doesn't happen is I hope it doesn't put people off going to the Zondo Commission. Everybody's got a state capture story. Everybody's got a Zupta story. And please, I beg people out in the wider world, go to the commission and tell them what you heard, because that's the only way we're going to get it all squeezed out. Bain had to be, unfortunately, Bain had to be sort of throttled a little bit before they moved.
A lot of big companies tend to have to be throttled before they do much.
And that's just silly. There's no need for that. Just liberate yourselves, tell the truth, and go home.
Do what Robert McBride is going to do. He's going to go to the Zondo Commission and speak about the death squads that he knows about. That's the kind of example that Peter's talking about. Well, that's your fix for this week. Take care. Good night. We'll see you next Sunday.